Yeah, so today we are going to look at HTML tables, and which is Wednesday, our schedule. And then, so HTML tables is something simple. So I think today is not going to be difficult. So when you look at the table, a lot of time we might need some table inside our website. You understand? We might need table inside our website. Whether we want to make some calculation, some accounting information, then we put it there, or just simple example like this. Maybe we want to show some company details, contact, country. So then we have to use this HTML element. Although you can use, if you are going to use an Excel sheet, it is from Microsoft, you can use that one. But if you want something online, which people can see it online and not only available inside your computer, then if you want to put it online, it's better you can use this table, because each element has its own function. You understand? So the browser understands all these elements. So immediately you insert any element which is in this scenario, the browser knows what you mean. You understand? So let's dive into the table, how the elements are arranged. So for instance, when we are going to look at the table, let's open our project from the VS Code. Come here, maybe new project, or let's open a new folder, and then we go inside, let me put it inside these downloads, and then, okay, maybe I can use this as example, and some projects, or let me just create a new file and then put it there. Create a new file and put it there. So I can just write and say table, HTML table. So we have HTML table as our folder. Then this is our folder open with no file inside. So we can create a file, and then the file we are going to say index.html, which is our home, right? We'll bring our boilerplate with the exclamation mark. Now we type the star as our title will be HTML, understand table, right? So we have Python, we can open it using what we have. So first of all, let me just write H1 tab and type HTML table. And then we view it. We can use either live server, or we can use show preview. So right click, we have our extension, which is show preview, or we can go and use open with live server. So let's just use the show preview, which shows what we have open here, HTML table. Okay, so under HTML table, first of all, you want to have an element which describe a table. So every time when we are dealing with elements, we are always giving instruction to the browser. And because the browser knows exactly what we need, when we give the correct information or the correct instruction, the browser will display what we want. So what are we going to do? How can we bring a table inside our browser? So what we do is, the element is table, right? And the table, the short form of table is what? Table. Because it's just short word. We don't need to add, maybe make it shorter again. So we just prefer to leave it as table. right? So we first tell the browser we want table, T-A-B-L-E. Enter. We have open and close tab, right? So within, we can write our other elements. So first of all, we are telling the browser we want, or we are initiating a table. You understand? Initiation of a table. Start or give me a table. So within it, what kind of or how do you want the arrangement of the table to be? Because you know that if you are talking about table, it looks like when you go to an Excel sheet, for instance, if I open like Excel sheet like this, Excel sheet has what we call, we have rows and we have columns. The columns are A, B, C, D. These are the columns, right? A, B column, C column, D column, E column, right? And the rows are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as it goes, right? So the column start with A, while the rows start with 1. So if you want to write something, here we call it a cell. You understand? In this Excel, here inside we call each inside we call it a cell, right? So in each cell, you can decide to what. For instance, if you want to, I want to direct you to any cell, I can say go to B1. Where is B? B, where is 1? 1. So I'm here, right? I can ask you, go to H1. Where is H? Here. Where is 1? Here. So H1 is here. I can say, oh, go to F5. Where is F? F. Where is 5? Here. So I'm here, F5. You understand? So that is what we normally see in Excel, right? So that is for Excel. So this, when you write something like this, and when you have some account information or some details or contact, etc., you can decide to write it here within your business. But this one is only seen inside your PC, right? So when you want this to be online while you're designing, in web design, in HTML, we also have this kind of stuff. So we have to have column and we have to have rows. So both column and rows makes an Excel or a table. So let's see, how can we achieve? So first of all, we want to achieve this heading, right? We want to achieve this heading, which are what? The columns.
Yeah.
You understand? And to achieve this column, first of all, we have to have a rows, because the rows will define how many rows we can use in order to have different columns. You understand? So first of all, we have something we call, when you have a row. So what do you need here? We say we want table row. That's the short form.
Table
You
row.
understand? Table row, which is TR. So always put it in your mind. Table row. You understand? Because now you've opened a table, right? You are telling the browser that you want a table. Now, you are telling the browser that you want a row now. And the row is what? Here, for instance, example. You are telling the browser that I want row here. You understand? For instance, this one was empty. If I let's see, I click here, or maybe I'm outside. Let's say this one is empty now. You understand? So now you are telling the browser that this is what you are telling the browser when you brought the table, right? And now you are telling the browser that you want row. Then you come here. What is the row? Here you say you want TR, which is the row from here. This row. This is what we are writing. You say TR. Now you have a row. It will not show here, but this is what we are writing. We are telling the brother that I have a table like this, right? And the
Yeah.
table, I want a. So if I want to see what I'm writing, for instance, if I say I want to add some style and say I want to add background color, and I say blue, I wouldn't see anything there because I didn't put anything inside the table. So how can I see it, right? I
Yeah.
wouldn't see anything inside because it's empty. So if I even add a background color, nothing will happen, right? So let's continue. So now we want what? We want a row. That is our first row, right? So here we can
Yeah.
see row 1, right? We comment on it. So this is our row 1. Row 1, this is our row 1, which is TI, right? So inside this row, what do you want to have? We want to have a column, right? We want to have heading. You can see heading. How many do you have? So we can come and say, look at here. You say to what? TH, which is what? Can you guess? Can you
TH
guess? What is T?
table.
Uh-huh.
Table
Uh-huh.
horizontal.
No, think. You can remember this. Table, normally you know H.
H
Table,
represent
come again.
heading.
Table head.
Okay. Table
You
head.
understand? Uh-huh. Now you are writing table head. You are writing this. Table head, this. You understand? Because this one is going to be the head of each row. You understand? In that row, here is the row. How many table are you going to add? So it will be like how many column are you going to add with respect to the head? You understand? So here, if I say, oh, I want to add this, where is it? Okay. I want to add TH, table head, right? I can say,
Yeah.
write it like this, right? Table head. Then I can write something inside and see, maybe let's say I'm writing something about month of a week or the day I'm working. Honestly, understand? Maybe just let's say we are going to write our own timetable. Let's talk about like in a week, what is our schedule for our program? You understand? I can say, okay, this is our schedule. This week, we have what Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? So let's talk about we are doing learning. We are taking this as a table, and we are going to write this inside the table. Understand? So we can see, oh, we are going to write something from Monday, right? Monday. So if I write something like that, Monday, I can come down and say, since I have the first, which is the heading, this is the first. So if I want to add another, because I'm still here inside this TR, right? Can you see? TR. This is what? TR, the row, first row. So the first row has different colors, right? So I first brought this. What is this? I wrote what? Monday, right? Which is the first row. You understand? But here you have to always look at it as we are in a column now. We are still not outside the column. We are still inside in the column. So if we are still in the column, we cannot write anything to be horizontal again. You understand? All what we need to do is we have to look at what we left from the vertical. You understand? Which are the columns. You understand? So inside our row, we will have our columns. So always think about it as that way. Then, so inside our row, we are now going to write our columns. So this is now our first column. And this is now our first row, the TR. You understand? So inside the row, we have different columns. You understand? So we go to the next column. And another one, TH. Right? What do you have? Tuesday. Look at what's happening. You
We have to
understand?
use break.
No, we don't have to use break. It's the same thing. It's just because the thing is, normally you will view it as this, but in reality, it is like this. It's the same thing as this. So by you, when you are writing, it look this way. You understand? But when you want to look at it in your browser, the column is like this. You understand? But always, that's why I said, if you visualize this table, well, it will be easier for you. Because the thing is, first of all, what do you have? Row 1. This is the row 1, which is TR. Row 1. So we are still inside the row 1. So all whatever we are writing inside are going to be columns. You understand? So this one become column 1, column 2. So here our column 1 is what? A, B. Because the column uses A, B, C, D, but the row is 1. So we are row 1, A, B. So that's what we are doing now. So now here we added what? Tuesday. Right? Then what do you have? Wednesday. Right? Let me shape this. Wednesday, right? So here, what do you want to have? What do you have? What do you think we should do?
We should do another
Another
table
table
head.
head. Oh, okay. And then we add what? Wednesday. And then another one, we go like that up to maybe, because it is a week, we write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. Right. So now what do you have? We have 5 days, which serve our week of our work. Or we can just add, because it's just a week, 7 days, so we can just add the rest. Then add Saturday, Sunday. Then we can see Saturday and then Sunday. Right. So these are now our columns, which is inside our first row. So we have up to here, you can see we have Wednesday, Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we have what? Sunday, right? So now this is how we are visualizing the thing. So this is our first row, which is our what? TR. We are still inside. TR, first row. Understand? So what next? We are going to our second row, right? We are going to our second row. So write row 2. Right. Then what do you need to have initially?
We'll keep the inside. It will
First
be
of all,
what?
what do you need to have now? How can we bring our row 2?
We'll type the same thing. Table
Okay.
head.
Look at it very clear. Look at here. What do you have?
I will
First
bring
row.
table row, another table row.
Yeah, we have table row. So now we are telling the brother that we want the second row, right? Which is TR.
Yeah.
And now inside the TR, we have our other columns, right? So now we are here, second row 2. So now we have to fill it with what? Our content here, which is
Mm,
the columns, right?
yeah.
So because we already have head and this stands for our head, we don't need head again, right? Below it, we don't need head
Yeah.
again inside here. What do we need? Look at. What do we need here?
Mm,
TD, right?
yeah.
TD. We need what? TD. We need a content.
Content. Okay.
You understand? Because here is the head.
Mm,
Like for instance, if you are writing H1 as the head, definitely you have the content as maybe paragraph, right?
yeah.
So this is similar way. This one is the head, and then those below are going to be the content,
Mm,
right? So how should I do it? It is TD, right?
mm,
Table
yeah.
what? Table
Table. Table.
data, right?
Data. Okay.
Table data, meaning the
Data.
content of the what? Understand. So if you have company, what is the data or what is the name of the company? It's this. So this become the
Mm,
data of the company. This is become the data of the company too.
mm,
You understand? Aha. So these are the data. This is just the head. You understand?
mm,
Which tells us that okay, this is the head. So these are the children, the data,
mm,
right? So we come
yeah.
here and say, oh, we want what? We want TD, right? So when we want
Yeah.
TD, what do you think will happen now? Now we are saying that whatever we are going to write here will correspond to Monday, right?
Mm,
But you
yeah.
have to visualize it here because this one is the first. This one also was the first, right? So when we
Mm,
write something here, it will just correspond to this.
mm,
You understand? So let's say our class, maybe let's say it start from let's say 7 o'clock, like maybe 7 p.m. and end at maybe let's say 7 p.m. to 8 o'clock or 8 p.m. Right? So look at where
yeah.
it ended. It under Monday.
Mm, yeah.
So it means that those that are going to continue writing, it will also be here. The other one will be here. The other one will be here. Because we already tell the brother that we are what? You want to row, and inside the row, we want columns. So whenever we feel something,
Mm,
it goes this as it goes. So we can just go here and say
mm,
we want the first one to be 7 p.m. too, and the other one will be maybe on Tuesday. What do we do? Do we do anything on Tuesday? No. So we can say offline or off, just say maybe something like no class, right?
mm,
We go Wednesday. Wednesday, what? We can say Wednesday to we have from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it goes Wednesday. Thursday, we say, oh, Thursday, no class, right? No class. What about Friday? 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then what about Saturday and Sunday? We say no class, no class. right?
Yeah.
So you see, this corresponds to the first one, this second one, this third one, up to the 7 days. So that is how we fill a table. So if you understand this simple, this one, it's enough because whenever you are going to add, you are going to just duplicate it. You understand? If you want to add
Mm,
something below, you just copy this, you copy this, and just put it below it because this is now your row 3, right? You
yeah.
see this is row 3 and just change the content inside. And then on the row 4, you see I'm adding row 4, then you change the content inside. So you see that it's all coming down. I hope you
Mm,
understand.
yeah.
So that is how you can just write easy table. It doesn't need to be complicated. You understand? So it's just easy
Yeah.
for you to add a table. But everything between TD and what TDR is content table cell that I told you. So I told you that a cell is like this. This is a cell. This is a cell. This is a cell. This is a cell. You understand? So it's the same thing
Mm,
as this one. So when you visualize Microsoft Excel, how it works, it's easy for you to understand how to arrange this table. You understand?
yeah.
So let's move on. You're saying that a table cell can contain all sorts of HTML elements, whether it is a text, image, list, link, and other table. For instance, the same thing as here. Here you can put a text, right? I can write some text here as we did. Here I can go and say, no, I don't want to write text. I want to write put image here.
Mm,
I understand. This cell, I can make it bigger, but when I put an image, it will take some space here. It will drag this away and take the space of the image.
mm,
You understand? So it can contain an image. And he's saying that what? It can also contain what? List.
mm.
You understand? It can also contain link that you can click. You understand? So here, if I want, I can just write maybe HTTPS. You can write HTTPS
Mm,
colon / double / another google.com. I see. Now it's a link, right?
yeah.
That is what it means. Now this one is a link, but it is the same, it's a cell. That is the cell. So the cell here contain a link, while this cell contain text. So if
Mhm.
it's an image, I can put image here. You understand? So that's how it works.
Mm,
And if it is like a table, as it said, or other tables, I can add here, I can put a table here, the same thing. Similar to the way we did with nested what? Now you remember nested list.
yeah. That's the
So
thing.
here I can put a table inside a table. So that is what it is talking about. You understand?
Yeah.
So the table header stand for table header. TA stand for table header. You understand?
Mm.
So normally that is what, and they have a different or other element or tag.
But
The-
like say, it won't
mhm.
show the line, right?
This
It
line.
only just continue. Yeah, the table line.
No, the table line, it shows when you add CSS, as I told you. Remember, this one
Okay.
is just a structure.
Yeah.
As I told you, what we are doing now, we are building a structure like a house, which is not
Mm.
painted, it's empty, nothing is
Yeah.
inside. So this one is just we are building a table or what. So this one, look at this one. This one is just the same thing, though this one is
Mm.
just there. And they just put the line for you to guide you to know where you have to put your test.
Mm.
You understand? But at the end of the day, it's empty, it's still empty. So for instance, if here I want to just make sure I put some elements here, where I can say, okay, let me just put some of these elements like this, for instance, as an example, like this. Maybe I have two rows and I have this content here. This look like the same thing as here, which is empty, right? So when I want to color it, I want to make sure I highlight all of this and apply color. So this one is going to be CSS, for instance. I can apply this background color, right? This now is what our background
Yeah.
color, which is red. I can apply the color of the text. Maybe let's say the color of the text should be white. You understand? So it's the same thing. Here too, I can go and say, okay, what did I do? I apply the color to all on the table. So what did I do? I come here. What is the table itself? This is the table. As we did with the body, remember, you can just say style, background color. What color do we need? Red. And just type red. What happened? You see what happened?
It's
So the
effect.
same thing as you see, you apply red here, right? So I want the
Yeah.
text also to change so that I can just come here. I remember that I told you that we have to what? Continue after the semicolon, right?
Yeah.
So I can now continue with color. This color means the text itself, the text inside, not the background. The background is this, and this one is the text, right? So I can say the text is white. I can just write white. So white, right? So it means we are applying all the color to this. So for instance, if I want to apply the color to a specific row, meaning I want to apply color to a specific row. Maybe let's say I want to apply a color to row 2, right? I can just highlight only row 2, only row 2. What background color do I want? You can just say, I want the background color to be, you see here it is called fill color. And this fill color. But in HTML, it is called background color. You understand? Now, when you read, you see it is saying that color the background of cell. You understand? So if I say right click and say this one, I want to change this color to, let's say blue, or maybe blue is, okay, let's say I want to change the head because this one is the what, table head, right? So I want to change the table head to blue. Go there, here, and check about blue. So this table head become blue. So when I go to my website, what do I want to apply to? The table head. You understand? And which row is the table head is? Row 1. Here, row 1. It means when I apply the color to the row 1, it will affect all of them, right? But I can go inside and apply the color for each column. And each column will have different color. But now I want the color to affect the first row, which is the what? The head. Here, the head, which is row 1. So where is my row 1? This. And this is the what? Telling me row 1. So I can just say style, background color, and I give it as blue. So you see what happened? It applied the blue color to all the head, right? And if I want to have, I can just add something, maybe padding, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to blue, star, blue. Okay, okay, let me just leave for now. So for instance, now we have something like this. And then, okay, I think I should add it here. Okay, oops. What is something? Okay, let me just continue with this. I will just show you a little bit. So now, for instance, now this row is our row one, right? Row one, which
Yeah.
is TR and TR closed, table row. So this is a table row. Imagine, or if I want to enter inside each column, because we are in row one, I have to talk about column now. So if I want to enter into each column and say I want to change the background color of each, I can just go inside this, because now this one is Monday. So inside I can say style, background color, and you see I want something like this color.
Mm.
You understand? So now it has affected only the what? The first column,
Ah.
right? So mean I can go to the second one again and say, oh, I want to add style here, background color, and I say I want to add maybe yellow or yellow green. You see, it's also affected. So this is
Mm.
how you can achieve this kind of table. But normally, it's not advisable to use colors on the
Colors
to
different.
make it different if it doesn't look nice. So sometimes just
Mm.
make sure you apply it on the main row. Understand? Just
Mm.
apply it on the main row, which is the TR, so that it will affect all of them.
Mm.
You understand? So that's how we do this. You understand?
Mm.
So here, if I go to here, I can say, let me add a border. You see, maybe I can say I want the border of 2 pixels. So it just added the border. What you wanted, you see now it has a border. And the border I can add which kind of border I want solid. And the color of the border should be what? Maybe yellow. Let me see border. Okay. You see. Okay, I think there's a mistake in the code. Because here it's affected. Coming. Style. Maybe border. And the color is 1 pixel. Solid. And then I say what color? Yellow. Understand? Maybe I can just use it this way. Maybe. Well, it's small. I don't really see because it's small. You see the border now. You see the
Mm.
border. This border you
Mm.
see. Nice border. Nice. So because that is the table itself. The table itself. And that's the border itself. And the table border 5 is okay. 5 pixel is okay. I understand. So that is how we add a table to all this.
Mm.
So normally that is a simple thing that you have to know about table.
Yeah.
This style, maybe you can go and just look at it from this website as I give it to you.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
just try the practical way of adding them. Because look here, define a table caption. Understand? This define a table caption. This define what? A group of one or more column in the table. So always just go here as I give it to you. can just copy this, go to your browser, and then you paste it inside your browser like this, and it will take you to the table. So you see the table here. See one example, and then look at this one too. The same thing, table row. Look at the table row, how it works. The header, the table header TR. For instance, if you want to see it, you can click there. This one, and it give you an example. Look at how it is. Person 1, person 2, person 3. So this is the first row, which give you the TH. And this one is the TD. And so look at this. This is the table, right? And then you
Yeah.
give this table is in the first row, we have TH. And then you continue with the second row, which is the TD. And then continue with the third row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, 3 columns. So 3 by 3. You understand? So that is how it works. So let me add this width. I can see they added this width as maybe 100%. Let me see how it works. So width added 100%. Let me see. 100% is bigger. Yeah, it covers all the others here. I understand. So that is how it works. So you can just go there and look at it. Just test how it works. You see? You understand? So now a table cell in each channel. What do you do? Which one? What is the
You said?
correct tag name for, what is the correct tag name for a table cell in HTML?
TR?
Table cell,
Table set TD.
TD. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, yeah,
Yay,
yeah.
correct.
I thought you are going to choose TC. What you see it is
No,
table cell.
TC is not among us.
Yes. Okay, so you see the TD is defined as cell in a table. So you are correct. So mostly you can even go here and just look at the border is there. When you want to add a border, the border that I added, property, see you can add border 1 pixel solid black. So that's why it is black. Understand? So it means that he added this border to all of it. He added to the table head, and the table what? Data. So all of them have what? Have this. Understand? Then here, collapse table, a border collapse property. So you can use this one also. So border collapse to make it like this. Here it's look at it like it is two
Kind of.
different borders, like kind of this, but here the border is collapsed. So it's like it has only single border. And here too, you can even style the border much longer. So it's just look at this. Here we wrote what? Border. So you can try it as this way. You see the border, the column, and then the property. You understand? So always look at how it works. So you can just copy this how it works. You see, oh, this is border. I can just copy this. When you go to because you are going to add it as inline, so you can say, oh, I want to add it as inline. So I can delete the one we added here. I can say you don't want this. You can just go and say, I don't want this. Let me just delete this. You say you don't want this border. Then you add yours. You understand? So this is your own border which affect this. But if I want it to affect all of them, I can just open a style here, and target all of them. First of all, I will target what? Table. Then I'll write table, comma. I'll target what? The tr, comma. I'll target what? The
TD.
yeah,
TH.
maybe I can add th like this, for instance, maybe something like this. Th, for instance. Then I'll bring like this. No, now if I add the border, it will affect all of the one I added here. So what I do is I can just remove this border, cut it, and bring it here. And bring it here. You understand? So
That's the
that's how,
example that is.
yeah, that's how it works normally. You understand? So I can see maybe the weight, can see 100%. You understand? So normally that is how the CSS. Always just go and test it, add it, how it works, and look at. So if you see that, oh, this is how you want it to look, then you are good to go. I understand. It's not something that is difficult. Just look at it, how it works. Maybe you look at something like this and so, oh, this look nice. I want this type of table. Can copy this, can try it, and you see it here. You see how it works. Right? So you can say, oh, this look nice. I want this. So you can just go here, even here. You can copy from maybe here, from even doctor. You can copy all. You copy all, go here, clean all this, and paste it. It's there, right? Because it's a code, it's a code. So just look at it and say, oh, now it's look the way I want. Let me change something. I look at it and say, why do I have to change? Maybe the color, you don't want the color. Change the color to what you want. Or maybe the text inside is white. You don't want text to white. You want different text. You can just go and say, oh, if I want to apply the text, where can I apply and it will affect all, or should I affect all only these columns? You understand? So you can go and say you want this to apply to only the column. You can just write maybe TR. So it means you are applying to the row. But if you say you want to apply is what? TD, right? Based on not don't affect this two, which is what? TH. So you can say TH, comma, and TD. So it will only affect this both, which is color, and you say you want white. So it affects the TH, which is head, this head, and affect the TD, which is this TD, all of them. But if you don't want to affect the TD, you want only the TD, and you don't want to affect the TH, you can clean this, and it affect only this. I understand. And you can say, oh, this one is in the middle. Let all of them come in the middle. I can say, oh, come here and see how can I make it come in the middle. Align center or align item, test align, and you say you want it to be center. So all of them are centered. You understand? Test align because they are tests. And you see test align center or test align right. So I'm going to right or left. Left. That's the default. So I want it to be centered. It's centered, meaning you're only affecting this TD, right? Maybe background color, though it not doesn't look nicer, but you can put it background color blue, right? And you say, no, I want this one, TD, it's override this color. But it's okay. You can say, oh, you want the TH2 color to be different. So you can just remove this TD because you already have it down. You can see, I want to change this color to red, or maybe something like this. Something like this. And so you can play with all these stuffs depending on how you feel.
Mm.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's easier. Just make sure this website is very good. Just make sure you always use it when you want to do some practice. Just go there if you see something that you don't understand. Look at how it works. This is round table borders. Understand? We use border radius for that. You understand? This is an example
Mm.
of how it works. You say try, you click to give you how it works. You look at the code. You make sure you read the code, how it works. And read
Mm.
this, the CSS too. You can copy, come to here, delete all this, paste it here, it is there. Then similarly, I want to change something. Change maybe the color. I don't want the color to be this way, and change it. Maybe I want to add background color. I don't want the border background color. This. Want green. This is there. And the color, white. White. And then I want all of them to be aligned centered. So I say test align centered. Right? So you achieve all this, you
Mm.
are good to go. If you don't want the radius, you can look at where the radius is applied. You see, you can just remove it. This is the way the radius is applied. And so if you say you don't want the radius, we can just remove the radius. You don't want it. If you don't want the border, you see you have border did it collapse, something like, let me see. There was a border collapse. I look at it here. It is here, yeah, it is what collapse. You can add border collapse. Go here, copy this, put it here. So there's only one border, right? You see how
Yeah.
it goes. So there are a lot of things you can do with, or just make sure you use this website if you have any problem. You see, you have dots, dotted, dashed, solid, double, groove, ridge, inset, outset, none, hidden. So this word, inset, you can also use this one, inset, on the border. You can go on the border and say, I want inset, border style. How? Border style, you add the border styles. For instance, this is dotted. Look at it's dotted now.
Mm.
Okay, say you want insets, insets. Look at how it doesn't, you only see it clearly, but it's insets.
Mm.
You understand? Oh, I want groove. Normally, you don't see it clearly, but look at what do you have? You can say, oh, let me see. We have double. You can say, well, let me try. What is double? Double. I understand. Because you already put the collapse. Normally, you don't see it, but you see collapse. You see now double is there. You understand? So if you put like the group that I told you, that's how it looks like. It's, color, border color too is there. There are a lot of property that you can use, right? So what is the correct CSS property for styling the border of a table?
Table, table border or
Table
table
border.
style?
Are you sure?
Table, table style.
Are you sure? Look at
Ah,
the border color. Look
border
at
color.
border style.
Border style.
Border style. Are you sure border style?
Yeah, it's border style.
Okay, there's no border style here. That's what I'm talking about because they want to confuse you.
And that's why then it will be table style.
No, look at it very well.
What is border style?
Look at it. Look at here. Just look at here. You have border style, right? And we have border color, right? And we
Yeah.
have border style, border radius, border radius, border radius. So everything is border collapse, everything is border, border, border. But
They
just
did
look
not
at
bring
it means that you have to look at you already study here. Remember, this takes all of what we are talking about here. You understand?
mm,
This is single, this is a single border collapse. This single border radius. You understand? So this one, it is like 3 in 1.
mm,
You understand? It is 3 in 1. Instead of writing them different, you understand? For instance, there is border,
mm,
right? So this one
yeah.
means the border what? The border thickness. So where the border thickness is? This is the color.
Mm,
Where is the color? This. This, right?
yeah.
So this now is border, then you move color. You understand? Border,
Mm,
color. You understand? Border,
mm,
style, right? Look at here.
yeah.
Border, style. You see dotted, right? Border,
Mm,
style is solid here. You understand?
yeah.
That is how it works. So here there are 3 in 1. So the correct answer is border. So example like this. For instance, look at here. What did we say? We have what? Border 1 pixel, meaning the thickness of the border, it is 1. And we
Yeah.
come, the style of the border should be solid. And then the color of the border should be red. So this is 3 in 1. So instead of you writing them differently, like maybe border style, maybe you choose maybe dotted, and then come again, you write border color, you write maybe let's say blue, and you come and write maybe border maybe width, you understand? A border width, and you say you want the border width to be 2 pixels. So all these three things are merged into one.
Mm,
You understand? This border style, the style is what? This, the middle one. Border color,
mm,
this, and border width is this. And so instead of writing this in CSS, you see this a lot of times. Sometimes they will
mm,
shorten it and make it this, and sometimes you can decide to choose one. So that is CSS for you. You are not there, so I don't want to bother you with a lot of stuff like this. I understand. So I think it's enough for today. Let's make sure always when you are doing, remember this, how this Excel is arranged, and then it will make
okay.
you itself as a guideline for you to remember how to arrange the table style, the table itself, and the table row, the table header, and the table data. I understand.
Mm,
I think it's enough for today. And then when we meet again, I think on Friday, then our next topic will be, I think, is gonna be a HTML form and the input types. I
mm,
understand. Which is the best and the perfect way to be able to know how to design a student registration form.
okay.
I understand. So this thing will
Yeah.
help you to know to understand how to design student registration form. So when we meet, I think on Friday, then we can continue with this HTML form.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think
Thank you
today,
for today.
you are welcome. You are welcome. Okay.
Mm,
So I think I can now, yeah. So I'll see you on Friday.
okay. Have a good night.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome.